Hello, good day guys. So in this video, we'll be talking more about HTML text content. But first of all, let's close the file tray, yeah, because we won't be needing that for now. So, web pages are just like newspapers, magazines, and you can even say essays. Because we can have headings or paragraph that describes content in our web page. So now let's look at the basics of creating text content in a web page. First of all, we'll be looking at the head tags. We have head tags like H1, H2, H3, and so on. So first now I'll be doing here now is I already have my H1 here. I'll be creating an H2 tag and a paragraph. Then another one H3 tag and a paragraph. So I'm just going to highlight this H1 tag, every of it, just like you can see it. And I'll copy it down to the next line. To do that, you just hold on your Shift and your Alt button, then you click on the down button. It's going to copy it down to the next line. Let's give a space here. Now let's change this H1 to H2. All you just have to do to select the ending tag, you see I selected the opening tag. So you just click on your control or your command D to select the other tag, which is the closing tag. Then you type in H2 tab. So this has been changed to H2. Now we have our H1 and our H2. So now let's change the context of this H2. Let's say I am okay, sorry. I am ready to learn HTML. Yeah. Okay, let's leave the paragraph context the same. Let's save and see what we have. Now you can see our H1 tag and our H2 tag. You can see the H1 is quite bigger than the H2, and that's how it goes. The higher you get on your heading hierarchy, the smaller your heading. So this H2 is just like a subheading under the H1. Now let's go ahead and copy this H2 and the paragraph under it to the next line. Just like I told you, you highlight it, then you click on your Shift, Alt, and down button to copy down to the next line. Yeah. So I'll be changing this H2 to H3 like I did earlier. Control D to select the ending tag, then H3. Now let's see what we have there. But first of all, let's change the context of this H3 element. Okay, so let's have my daily schedule. Yeah, let's change this what we have inside of this P paragraph element to let me tell you how I. Okay, we don't know what to say for now. We'll get back to that later. So now let's save and see the changes we have here. Now, just like I told you earlier, you can see the H3 element is smaller than the H2, and the H2 is smaller than the H1. So you can see it yourself. Now, headers give semantic meanings to web page and tells the browser that H1 is the main topic, then H2 is the subtopic, then H3 is the topic under the subtopic, which is the H2, and so on and so forth. So their sizes, we can change all of that in the future with CSS, but that's when we get to that video course. So CSS will style our page looks and give it a unique beauty. But it's important to organize your web page with heading hierarchy, just like I just did here now. So screen readers will be able to, navigate through your code easily. Then our paragraph can give more details about the subtopic we've created. Like you can see the H2 element here, it says I am ready to learn HTML. Then the paragraph says this is my first web page. Now I'm going to add an element which does not really provide any semantic meaning, but visually it helps us on the page. So it's just H and line header. Yeah, that's HR. Just click HR, then click on your tab button. If you notice, it only has an opening tag, it does not have a closing tag. So I'm going to put it at the last place, and I'm going to put it before my H2 element, that's below my H1. Then let's save and see the changes we have there. Now you can see the HR that it's called horizontal row. Yeah, horizontal row. You can see the line it created up. That's before our H2 element and beneath our last paragraph. So that's what the horizontal row does to your page. So what I'll do again now is I would like to copy this H2 and H3 with their paragraphs down to the next line that's below the horizontal. So see what we have. So now here we can see two different topics. Yeah, so you can see two different topics, and we can picture this as an article or newspaper, that have different context and information. Another thing I would like to, emphasize on is the white space. Web pages in HTML do not honor all those white spaces we add to our codes with the space bar, just like this. Let's say this now. All the spaces you have, HTML does not know it. So it's nothing. If we save this code now, it does not affect our page. It does not add anything to the page. So HTML doesn't honor these white spaces. And we call it white space collapse in HTML here. So one thing we can do is adding a line break, which can be added inside our paragraph element. Then what I'll do is I'll go down to the next line. Okay, let's say, let me tell you how I learn more about, learn more about web development. Yeah. So let's go down to the next line now and add our line break. Yeah. So we the HTML element is just BR. Then click on your tab button. You can see this BR just like the horizontal row has just an opening tab. So I'll have something like a three dots. Though this dot is not mandatory, it's not required, it's just something I would like to have here. So I'll say, let me tell you how I write my quotes. Yeah. Now let's go to the next line and we add another line break. Yeah. So I'll add my three dots again. I'll say I do take my coding schedules seriously. Okay, seriously. And lastly, let's have another line break. And let's say I use resources from MDN. So this MDN is a resources we use in getting the definition for HTML, if you could remember. So it's an abbreviation, and a full meaning of it is Mozilla Development Network. So let's save our work and we'll see the changes we have here. Okay, you can see the changes here. You can see this line break. It breaks the line and take you to the next line. So you can continue writing your code there. Just like you can see here, the three dots. After my sentence there, the line break breaks the line and takes me to the next line. That's what the line breaks does to our code. So let's go down and change some of our topic. The topic we have below the horizontal group here. So here we have I am ready to learn HTML. Let's change that to I am, okay, let's say I am planning to visit Lagos State. Yeah, that's cool. Now let's change the paragraph context. Let's say I have lived most of my life here in Ogun State, and I would really like to know what Lagos is like. Just like I told you, your paragraph gives more, description to your headers. In my H2 I said I am planning to visit Lagos State, but in my paragraph I give more details about what I'll be going to Lagos State for, my intention of going to Lagos State. So let's add another paragraph here. I would like to have another paragraph here. So let's have our Peter, and I would say I would be staying at my friend's place in VI. Yeah, so VI is Victoria Island in Lagos State. I just abbreviated it to VI. Now let's go down to the H3 elements. Let's change it to places I would like to visit. Say places I would like to visit in Lagos State. Yeah. So this is cool. Let's change the paragraph context to let's say I've I've heard quite quite a lot about Lekki Beach. Yeah, I've heard quite a lot about Lekki Beach. I guess you too must have heard a lot too, so I'd like to visit Lekki Beach. Now, we can have more than one subtopic. So I would like to have another H3 element here and another paragraph. So let's copy this, highlight it, hold your shift and your alt button, then the down arrow to highlight, to copy down to the next line rather. So now let's see, here we have let's say places I would like to avoid in Lagos State. Yeah, of course, the place I would really love to avoid when I get to Lagos State. So we'll talk more about that in the paragraph. So I would say, sorry. So places I would love to avoid when I get to Lagos State is, let's say, anywhere around um, Ajigunle, just like you might have guessed. Yeah, no way, no way. Yeah. So let's save this and see the changes we have on our page. Now you can see the little changes I made. I have two more subheading under the I am planning to visit Lagos State subheading. So that's just it. So this is going to lead me to explaining block level element and inline element. Just like you might have noticed, every head element has our H1, H2 and so on. And our paragraph element, they start on a new line. That is just like you can see, all our header elements starts on a new line, and our paragraph elements also starts on a fresh line, taking all other spaces we have there. So this is called a block level element in HTML. It's called a block level element in HTML. So, and these kind of returns don't happen when we use our inline elements. Inline elements don't have such behaviors. So let's look at examples of inline elements. So let's emphasize the let's say I am planning to visit Lagos State. Let's emphasize more on the visits Lagos State. So I'll just cut this. To cut a particular text, just click on your command or your control X to cut it. Then I'll add my EM, that is emphasize. Yeah, then I'll click on enter. Then I'll paste in the text I just cut. So to paste in the text, you just click on your control or your command V to paste, then we save to see the changes. So if you could notice, the Lagos State had changes to some sort of italic text. So that's the changes we get when we use our emphasis on text. So CS, we can use CSS to reformat that too. So let's look at other HTML inline element. Another one we'll be looking at is the strong element. So let's say we want to have a strong emphasis on the no way I have here. Anywhere around adjacent, no way. So let's lay a strong emphasis on that. So to do that, I'll also cut this out. I'll cut out the no way. Then I'll put my strong, just like you might have guessed. So I'll say strong, that's the element we're using. Then I'll tap, then I'll paste in using Ctrl V, then save. You can notice here in my web page, this no way is now a little bit bigger and thicker than all other text we have by the side. So that's what the strong element does to our code. You can see our inline elements are inside of either our H2 element or our paragraph element. And that's why they are being called inline elements, because they do not create a break in the line just like the H2, H1 or our paragraph element does. So another context we can add to our page are called HTML entities. Yeah, HTML entities. They are not like the normal text we would type out. So like if we need a little extra space, there's an HTML entity for that. So let's add an HTML entity after our break. That's our line break we have up there. So to add our HTML entity, we need an HTML entity to give a little space after our line break. So to start every HTML entity, we start every HTML entity with an ampersand. Yeah, and we call it and sign here. So you start every of it with and sign. So the HTML entity we'll be having here is NBSP. Oh, Visual Studio Code already brought that up for you. So we just choose that and we save. You notice a change in our web page. You can see the first line break shifted to the right. So let's add like two more of it. Two more spaces. So I'll copy that and I'll paste again, then we'll save. Now now the outcome is very obvious. You can see the little space we have there. Now, what I would like to do is to copy these HTML entities and paste it in the rest places. So we have under that we have another line break. I'll paste it there. And I'll paste it at the last sentence there too. So save and you see our sentences have been shifted a bit to the right. So that's what this particular HTML entity does to our code. So now let's go down and add another. That's after our last paragraph. Let's let's add another horizontal roof here. HR, then you click on the tab button. Let's save this to see. You can see the horizontal roof at the last place on our web page. So let's have another HTML entity here. So we say, like I said, our HTML entity starts with an and sign, and so we have this LT, just like you might have guessed, it's called less than sign. So tab. So I would like to have three of that too. So I'll just copy that and I'll paste two more times. Yeah, that's what I would like to do. And then I'll save so you can see the changes. You can see what we have here. We have three less than signs. I like to have another HTML entity, and it's called I'll have my ampersand and I'll say copy. That's for copyright. Then I'll have my name. You can have yours there. So my name is Siri. After that, we want to have a greater than sign to end this. So just like you might have guessed, we have our ampersand and we have our G. Yeah, greater than that is GT. So I would like to have that two more times. So I'll copy and paste. Then let's save and see the changes. So you can see the changes we have here. We have three less than signs. We have the copyright sign. Then we have our my name Siri. You can have yours there. And then we have the three greater than sign to end that. Now let's add another paragraph on the places I would like to visit. Yeah, we already have one paragraph there. I would like to have another paragraph. So my p tags, then I okay, let's say have heard good things about. Then let's go to the next line. And now I would like to have an address element here. Now we can put a location inside of that address element, and it tells the browser that this is an address. So let's say, like you might have guessed, just type address, then this is it. This is our address element, opening and close tags. So let's just have any address. This address I'm putting here, it's not real. Yeah, so it's just formulated. Let's say phase one. Okay, let's say series streets. Yeah, opposite the results. Yeah, okay, this is cool. Opposite the results. Then I would like to have a line break here. So I'll have a line break. Then I'll say Lekki phase one, Lagos State. Lagos State. I would like to have another line break below that, and I'll have my number, the number of my house. Not my house though, just joking. Number 25, yeah, number 25, and my postcode will be 12821. Okay, and then I guess this is cool. So then I would say you can see how Visual Studio Code formats this address element on our page to look different from every other text. It has it in an italic form, to make it to show that it's an address element. So when you see it on the web page, you know that this is different from every other text. Now, before we finish this lesson about HTML contents, there is one other thing we can add to our code. Though we won't see it on our page, but it is important to look at it. So this is an HTML content. Let's have it. Okay, let's have it here under places I would like to avoid. Yeah. So let's say So to have a comment in your HTML, you make use of your greater than, your less than sign rather, then your exclamation mark and some. Okay, so you can see what we have here now. So this is called an HTML comment. Just like you see here, it has a different color from every others. This ash color signifies that it's not a code that is going to run on our web page. So now we can use that to leave a note for ourselves, because you won't be seeing this on our web page, but I'll show you how the public can see that. So to let's add it to do here. So we say to do, let's have this to do, and say add more places. So we say add more places. So this is a reminder to me to add more places to where I want to avoid in Lagos State. So it doesn't show on our web page. It's just a reminder to me that I want to do something on the code later as time goes on. So to have the public see this, the the viewer can go to the browser. You can either right click. Let me save this first. Then for your viewer to see this to-do list, to do comments, your user can go to the web page, you right click, or you click on Command U on Mac and Control U on Windows. So I'll just right click and go down to inspect. This is to inspect our code. Okay, I don't want this frame. So that's our elements. This is our code. Now you can see where we have the comments to do. You can inspect your codes too. So that's how to inspect your codes when you want to do that. And this is the source code for this output we have here. So I'll go ahead and close this up and I'll refresh my page. So one more element I forgot to talk about is the abbreviation element. And I believe we know what an abbreviation is. And if you could notice, I have some words abbreviated in our code, like the MDN and the VI. So now we're going to be using this abbreviation element to get the complete meaning or complete word for the abbreviations we have here. First of all, we'll be looking at the MDN. So just like you might have guessed, the element for this is ABBL. Then you click on your tab button. You see, Visual Studio Code already brought out the necessary attributes we'll be needing for this. And I told you earlier on that attribute gives more meaning to our element. So this title we have here is going to contain the full meaning of the abbreviation we have here. So this MDN simply means Mozilla Development Network. Yeah, so I'll just copy this MDN, I'll cut it and I'll paste it in between the opening and closing tag of the app. And I'll do the same to the VI. So come down, click up to type ABBR, then my tab, and this VI simply means Victoria Island. It's a place in Lagos State. So say Victoria Island. So I have to copy this VI and I'll paste it in between the opening and closing tag of the abbreviation element. And that this abbreviation element is also part of the inline element, just like you can see here, it's inside of our paragraph element too. I'm going to save this so we'll see the changes on our web page. Okay, I'll go ahead and refresh my web page. So now you can notice below our MDN here, we have dots under it. So if you just over, if you over on your MDN, you see the full meaning on inside a box below it. So that's what our abbreviation element does to our web page. Let's look at the VI tool. Okay, we are also having the same effect on our VI. So this is what our abbreviation element does to our web page. Now let's validate our code. To do that, we just go over to the browser, we search for validator.w3.org. Then it will bring us to this markup validation service page. Then you click on your validate by file upload. Then you click on this choose file. Mine is located inside of my desktop and the O3 lesson. I'll choose my index.html file. I'll open that up. Now check. Okay, now we have an error. The error says no P element in scope, but a PM tag seen from line 42 column 5 to line 42 column 8. One beautiful thing about this validator page is that it gives you the specific area you're having your error. So this is going to be a guide for me now. Let's see what we have here in line 42. Okay, let's just go ahead and remove this P tag. Both the closing and the opening and the closing tags with the content. Just go ahead and remove this. Just delete this. I only have my address now. Let's save and we validate our code. So you click on choose index of HTML. Now open. I will check. Now we have document checking completed. No errors or warnings to show. So I guess the P tags are the one disrupting our code, so I had to let them go. Sorry about that. So one very important thing I would like to tell you is that do more practices. Like you just finished learning about the HTML text content. Work on them, do more practices so you can have the code stored in your head. Like can look for articles, newspapers, or you can even put up an essay, write them out, have them display on your web page. Do more practices because the more practice you do, the better you get at coding. So we've come to the end of this video. Thank you very much for staying to the end of the video. And don't forget to hit the like button. And if you have any questions or additions to make under this HTML text content video, you can have it in our comment section below. And I would also appreciate if you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to get notified when we have new tutorial videos on. Thank you very much and do have a great day.